So I am here with some of my friends that represent so many parts of Latin America and then Hispanic culture. We are at one of my favorite spots. It's called Churros y Chocolate in Algonquin. You got to go there. I'm here probably every day, and we're just going to have a conversation where we're just going to expose our church to who we are, who the Latin community represents. And so let's start by sharing your name, a little bit about your background, and maybe share a dish or a pastry, a dessert that is always at a family gathering.
Okay, my name is Carlos. My parents are from Mexico. The favorite dish that's in my house sometimes is chilaquiles that's in the table.
My name is Kesia. I was born in Brazil. My family moved to America when I was 4 years old. My favorite dessert that we have at pretty much all of our Brazilian gatherings are something called brigadeiros. And they are these chocolate little balls that you have sprinkles on it, and it's just like heaven on earth. Wow. You can have 10 and it's
awesome.
Great.
Can I have one right now?
That's awesome.
I am Nancy, and I was born and raised in Puerto Rico.
Oh, yeah.
I moved here 5 years ago to Chicago. And favorite dish, I will say, fricassé de pollo. I do that a lot. It's like a chicken stew with white rice. So we make that a lot at home.
I'm Mario, and I was born here. I'm Mexican, and a favorite dish that's always around is conchas. You know what conchas
Yes.
are? Yeah, those are
Very
so
good.
good. You have them with chocolate, chocolate milk. It's like a hot chocolate.
Yep.
And those are really good. We have those around. What are some family traditions that you have in your family that you grew up doing and that you're currently doing with your family?
I will say that the coquito, as soon as I make coquito at home, it's Christmas. And then our traditional meal in Christmas Eve is the arroz con gandules, el pernil, the pasteles. You cannot forget the pasteles. We gather at home for Christmas Eve and do a traditional dinner. A tradition that I want to keep since I moved here, it's El Día de los Reyes.
Yeah.
So in Puerto Rico, that's as important as Christmas Day. So kids go outside, get their box and full of grass, bring them home, put them in their bed, and they're waiting for the three kings to come and just bring the presents as they did for Jesus. So I'm trying to keep that with my granddaughter.
So every Christmas is tamales at our house. And that's a tradition that we keep on doing at our house. Because one thing that we keep on remembering is my brother that passed away a couple of years ago. And just keep it together, the family, just having that same tradition going on every year.
Explain what tamales are. I know what tamales are, but just
so
for those who
tamales,
don't know.
if you do not know, a lot of Latinos and Mexican culture, and even Puerto Ricans have kind of something similar to tamales. Different states got different tamales. So if you go northern of Mexico, the tamales are a little bit more skinnier.
Yeah.
They're very good, a little bit of grease on it. Oh my God. If you go more to the south, they're bigger. They're corn husks. I think they're in the corn husks, I think they call it.
Yeah.
In the corn husks. And it all depends on what you want. There's chicken. Sometimes they make them pork. They make them cheese with jalapeno, dulces. They make them with, you can say candy, maybe.
Yeah, it's like sweeter.
Sweeter. And you can put sour cream on it. You can even put it on a bread that's called bolillo. That is awesome. They call it I don't know what they call it in Mexico, but it's in a bolillo and it's so good.
Yeah.
In a bread. Yeah.
Just to make it clear, the pasteles doesn't taste like the tamales.
No, it
They
doesn't,
look
but
like it.
it's similar.
Okay.
Yeah.
It got some plantain.
Plantains.
Yeah,
But actually,
yuca.
where we're from, Oaxaca, there's something very similar to the one that Puerto Ricans make, the Puerto Rican. They're like that, they're Oaxaqueños. So in Oaxaca, the tamales are made with a plant, with the banana
Plantains.
Plantains,
thing. So that one's way better than the other tamales. So, yeah.
Way better.
So one of the traditions we do in my house pretty much every day is called cafezinho da tarde, which is like afternoon coffee. And it's not just your traditional coffee in a cup, everyone sits down at the table. No, there's cake and pão de queijo, which is cheese bread. There's bolinho, which is just a cake of any sorts and all that stuff. And the whole family gathers around the table and we just have coffee together. And it was funny because my boyfriend, he's American, and when he came to visit my family for the first time, he was so confused. He's like, what is happening right now? Like, I thought we were just gonna get a cup of coffee, but like everyone's sitting down and there's cake everywhere and there's all this stuff. So it's just a tradition that we carry on. So even like I live alone now, but every afternoon I have my coffee, I try and eat a little snack. It's just something that continues on.
Yeah. Very similar for my family as we have like pastry at night. I talked about
Conchas.
Conchas.
Yes.
I talked about conchas with hot chocolate. We do that. I mean, every time we gather, it's always the question is always like who's going to bring the bread or who's going to bring the pastries or the sweets, and then we have that. But it's very, very similar. Well, as a church, we are going through Rooted, and we're doing it in Spanish, we're doing it in English, and we've been going through talking about these rhythms, spiritual rhythms, spiritual practices. What are some ways that you experience God in your cultural context?
I think for me, Mario, is it'll go with you with the music. Every Saturday morning, there was music going on at home. Some of my aunts in Mexico sing, my cousins sing in Mexico. It's just, I think just music, just something that for me connects me very, very deeply with God. Just worshiping the same God, everybody, no matter where you're from. Brazil,
Do you have
Puerto
any
Rico.
musicians, singers at home in your family?
Yeah, my brother likes singing. We do karaoke in our family. I sing too, but a lot of people don't know that. I used to sing a lot of mariachi songs at my house. I used to sing it to my mom, and she used to get mad at me. She's like, "Shut up already! You're singing too much of it." And I always loved singing, and a lot of people don't know that, but I don't.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very similar. Music was just a very big part in my house. My mom was a worship pastor. My uncle that lives with my family lived with my family for most of my life. He's also a worship pastor. And so it just kind of music was just always in my house. And there's just something powerful about worshiping in a different language. I don't know what it is, but it's like the presence of God just moves in a different way. And I absolutely love it worshiping in Spanish, in English, in Portuguese. And I think there's just this beautiful picture for me of what heaven is when you can think of the fact that there's a Spanish church worshiping, there's a Brazilian church worshiping, there's an American church worshiping, and it's all the same sweet sound to God, even though it's in 3 different languages. I just think that's a beautiful, beautiful picture.
I would say for me it's nature. When I was back home in Puerto Rico, it would be the beach, the ocean, the palm trees. Here, I'm just blown away about the seasons and the flowers. Fall is so beautiful and the colors. I really see God in nature and His majesty. So I would say nature.
But there's something beautiful about Puerto Rico. I mean, this is nice, but I'm everything you just said, the beach.
Yes.
My gosh. Yeah.
It's something about the ocean, right?
Yeah.
And salty water.
I think there's other places in Puerto Rico that are very, very nice inside the forest, I think, right? Am I correct?
Oh, the Yunque?
Yes.
The rainforest.
Yes. I heard it's very, very nice there. I've never been there, so.
For me, I've said this before, but music is just such a huge part of my life and my faith with God, and particularly Spanish. When I sing in Spanish, it's just the way I grew up. At home, we were not allowed to speak English. It was just all Spanish. So all our good conversations were in Spanish. All our arguments were in Spanish. All our problems were all in Spanish. So for me, the way I connect with God is in Spanish because it just has so many ties to just who I am.